Happy Friday slash Saturday slash whenever you guys watch this or whenever I upload this, because I don't know. Today's Friday. The update came out today, and I've been playing a lot. I've been trying to get a feel for the game now, and I gotta say, guys, after this update, the game has gotten significantly better. Now, is it where I think it should be? Absolutely not. There's still some issues that I have with the game, but a lot of them have been kind of addressed in a way. I mean, there's still a few of them. There's still a good bit, in my opinion, but the things like not being able to rush as much, this update kind of helped that. Honestly, I've been trying to play as aggressive as I can. Again, I get a feel for it. And I've had some pretty good games where I know that before I could not. And the new map is actually kind of fun. It is a 3-lane map. It can be a little annoying because there's people that still, refuse to move, and they'll still hide in their corners with the 725 shotgun. But compared to how this game was when it first came out, or even a day ago, it was in a rough state. And now it's actually like, oh, okay, here we go. It's something's coming together, right? So what I want to do is kind of go over 5 things that I think that this game still needs to change and still needs to adjust, because these things are things that could make and break this game, and then I think really if these are done, that they could have a drastically awesome improvement on the game, and I think that the community could probably get on board with a lot of these changes. So without further ado, I'm going to get into 5 things post-update, the 11.8 update or November 8th update, that could drastically fix this game. Issue number 1. The 725 is still a bit too strong. No, I know they toned it down in this recent update, but honestly, if you go watch Drifter's video on this update, you'll see that the one-shot kill range really wasn't reduced that much. And to me, that really wasn't the problem. It was just that the gun is extremely forgiving in close quarters and makes using other shotguns really, really tough, because a lot of the other ones get hit markers where that one just kind of demolishes the rest of them, so it's not quite in line. So I think they need to bring it down a little bit, and I think that the Model 680 could use a very slight consistency buff, because I've been using it, yeah, but there's still some wonky hit markers I'm getting with the gun. So I would prefer that they kind of bring the Model 680 up, especially if they're not going to touch the 725 anymore. Bring the 680 up to compete, because the other ones are just so much better, with the exception of the Origin. But that is my first issue with the game. Issue number 2. The footsteps still need a lot more work. Now, compared to how it was when we first started playing this game, it is significantly better. Now, it's not as intense. You don't hear footsteps coming from all over, every which way direction from your teammates and the enemies. Now it's a little more confined, and you can usually still hear an enemy coming up on you, but it's not overbearingly loud. But when you're in the open, or when there's not really any cover around you, it is still very, very loud, which makes sense, I guess. But in my opinion, the footsteps are just still a bit too loud, and the crouch walking and the ADS walking, they're still just a little too loud. They should, in my opinion, make little to no noise, especially crouch walking, because you are sacrificing your mobility so that you can be stealthy, and I think that needs to happen. So in my opinion, that's what I think should be done, is that they make the crouch walking and ADS walking silent, and then tone down the rest of the footsteps as well. Issue number 3, Ghost is still too strong. It is still too crutch in this game. In my opinion, and probably a lot of people's opinions, they need to tone it down immediately. Right now, it is in a state where it is really, really strong, and all everyone does is equip that, and they're able to go and sit in a corner or wherever the hell they want, and the enemy probably has no idea whatsoever where the hell they could be, especially on these big maps. There's so many places to hide. It's really bad that this conceals you constantly, especially for just sitting there and not moving. Now, I think it should be like how it was before, where if you are running / sprinting, then you will not appear on the radar. That seems fair to me. But if you are kind of slowly walking, if you are crouch walking, or just, God forbid, sitting in a damn corner with your dang 725, then you will appear on the radar and you will get your just desserts. I think that is how it should be, and I think that the community could probably largely agree with that idea as well. Up next is issue number 4, which is bring back map voting. Why is this not in the game? This is one of those things where I don't really understand the train of thought, and I'm going to try and play devil's advocate here and say maybe that it was because the developers wanted some data on certain maps or something. But even then, we could just leave the lobby if we don't want to play Piccadilly or Azir Cave, which in my opinion are 2 of the worst maps in the game. If we don't want to play it, we just back out. So I don't know if that's the case. I feel like if you had map voting, you could at least tell which maps were being voted for and which ones were not getting the votes. So you could say, oh, okay, there's some issues we have with this map. What is it? What can we fix? Because it is possible. If you remember in World War II, they had an issue with the map Aiken, I think that's how you pronounce it, where in the beta, I think, there was like this long line of sight that nobody liked, and they saw that complaint, and so they actually went into the map, the files, and changed the map around and added like a new structure. And it was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. So it's possible, but it probably takes a lot more work in that regard. So I'm not going to be holding out for that. But just bring back map voting. That's so simple. I really, really hope it makes an appearance, especially in this major overhaul they're supposedly working on by the end of November. So we'll see, but bring it back, please. And issue number 5 that I have is stop disbanding lobbies after a game finishes. This is another thing that I don't quite understand, but the current way it is, you play a game and then immediately when the game's finished, you are kicked from that lobby and you join another one. It's a quick match type of play. It's not like the normal Call of Duty way where you join a lobby and then you could stay unless you quit or get kicked. I think it needs to be back to the old ways, especially with map voting. Just have lobbies. You know what I mean? It's bad for the community the way it is now for a few different reasons. One is that it really discourages you from playing with a group of people that you might normally play with. In other words, like you meet someone and you think they're kind of cool or they play well and you want to see how they do over a few games to kind of get a feel for them. And you can't really do that, I guess, unless you start your own party and invite them. But I think that's a little too much. I think it needs to be just like how it was in the old days. And also, it kind of hurts the community in the sense that we can't really do rematches. I know that sounds silly and like it's just a game, but like, yeah, there's games where I will feel like I didn't deserve that loss and that it was, it was like bullshit, right? So I want to get another challenge and I want to at least try one more time. And I might not do any better, but at least I had that shot and I can leave the lobby if I want. But as it stands now, that kind of competitive aspect is gone. And as a whole, it just kind of makes the game feel disconnected as a community. And it's strange because for the first time ever, we have crossplay and we can play with our Xbox buddies and our PC buddies as PS4 players. But now we can't really connect in other ways. And it's just like, okay, so we get this, but we have to take away that. And I don't know. I really think it needs to come back and just bring back normal lobbies. I hope that's part of the update they're planning on doing because it's a big one, and I think it would really, really help the community and just bring it together in a whole new level. And that's what we need, especially with this game and how it's been the past few days and week or two. We need this kind of resurgence of people being close in the community. That's just my opinion. And with that being said, that is my list of the top 5 things, in my opinion, that need to change in this game to really help it out. These aren't all the issues. There's probably a few more I could think of, but I don't want to make the list too long. I kind of wanted to keep this video around 10 minutes if I could. And, the game's in a great state now. Well, I take that back. Maybe not great. It's in a good state compared to how it was because, man, I got to tell you, I actually had a video that I didn't upload, which was, a huge number of things that I would change, right? And it was going to upload yesterday, and then they released this update, so I decided to hold off and play it and see how it felt. And actually, it did remove a lot of my complaints that I had, but there's still some issues. And camping is still an issue, but not quite nearly as bad. And it's surprising, but it's weird. Now, I feel like people are so on top of things. Like I'll jump into a game and the first one after the update, and like people are running SMGs like crazy. People are jumping around. It's like, what the hell is going on? And it's fun. It's so much funner than just, walking out of spawn and getting corner camped by some asshole with a 725 or an M4. So, Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's in a little bit more of a tolerable state now. I'm actually enjoying 6v6 a lot more now. Ground War is still amazing fun. I haven't played the new map. I'm looking forward to that. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. So let me know in the comments what you think about this update, because I think it's really helped. And I know they're going to be adjusting more. And I'm excited for the future of this game. Like, if it keeps going like this with the developers doing as well as they're doing, we're in for an awesome year of Call of Duty. And just let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see all you shotgun fiends out there. How are you enjoying this update? Are you rushing a lot more? So with that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next video.